So MD, you've been trying to raise awareness about some of the conditions that a lot of people who have claimed asylum here in the UK have been facing. What are some of them conditions for people who aren't aware?
In terms of living conditions for asylum seekers in the UK, obviously the contract has been given in the England. It was Mears Group in my side where they're conducting this contract from Home Office on behalf of Home Office. But there is a lot of issues, pros and cons in this kind of accommodation at this moment, where the basic living standard, obviously, I would say by law as well, is not being standardized, and we are facing a lot of problem in our day-to-day life. For example, I'll go for it after you ask me the next question, obviously, but the living conditions is below average, I would say.
What we're seeing, because we saw a shocking video that you put on of rubbish all over. I mean, if you could describe that for me.
Definitely, the housing under Section 95 or under Section 4, the asylum seekers are living. If you are under Section 95, you get £39 a week and you live your life. But the problem is those houses have been shared, or accommodation has been shared by the asylum seekers. With this limited amount of money you get from your day-to-day living, nobody wants to buy cleaning stuffs. Even though if you want to buy bin bags, that cost you £2 from your, monthly allowances, which is really less. And because of pandemic of COVID-19, the Home Office has thought that they should increase the money, and they increased every week 16 pence, which is not really enough. And the problem is the ethnic food price has gone nearly 20 to 30% up. So the problem is, even though we get £39, we are not in a position to buy PPE, to buy cleaning stuffs in the house where we live. And most of the houses, I know my friends and whoever lives, and there is no Hoover. This company doesn't, the accommodation company doesn't provide any Hoover at all. So what do you expect from us to do? We cannot really do that. And in terms of hostel, that was a horrible video. I just tried to raise awareness that where the taxpayers' money is going, that there's a huge amount of money is being spending there. There's supposed to be 65 asylum seekers living there, and just now I can give you roughly around 30 people lives there. Rest of them just lives with somewhere else because of this situation and this condition. So where we are paying this money, this taxpayers' money for? That if you are facilitating this accommodation for asylum seekers, they should live there. Why they should leave that place? That is one of the reasons, because it's not a place people can live. Yeah. And it's unacceptable in the UK, being a first world country, that we should... I would say, if I say that people will no, in backwards, they will say, no, go back home. No. This is what I always remind people. Everyone has their different reason to be here. So please don't judge people like us. Don't tell us to go back home. See how it's going and try to make it better. Show us some compassion. This is what I say.
Yeah, have you been met with a lot of abuse from speaking out about this?
Yeah, of course. After I post this video blog, I had a couple of comments in my YouTube. I got a couple of messages in my Twitter from, racist people that get the fuck out of here. We don't want you here. Why don't you go back if you don't like it? But I have a big questions to all of them who just told me all these stuff, that this is the things which supposed to be dealt by the government. And also, why don't they ask government to sort these things out and keep asking me to go back and all these things? They should put themselves in my shoes and then ask me these questions. I would really appreciate it.
Yeah, do you feel like that's part of the problem, that people don't understand what asylum seekers are going through and the conditions they are living in?
Of course, it is a part of education. It's a part of awareness to be raised, and I would definitely say the media and other things that they sometimes they really feel a bit scared to raise this kind of issues what asylum seekers are going on. I don't know why, but there is a huge necessity for the media to play in this role, that they should preach this kind of problems people are facing seeking asylum in this country. We just don't come here to get housing, get benefits and stuff like. We don't get any benefits. It's just £39, and even though that £39, most of the money of that £39 is coming out from United Nations. So people should know all these facts there before they talk about. We don't say that the government has spoiled £1.5 billion money on the face mask, and then it's been nothing been spent on people. So we don't raise any questions of that. It's just the thing that people need to understand. They always try to say, "Oh, our veterans are sleeping in the floor. There is a homeless people." Who create this homeless? It's our government. Our government is funding, these big wars in the other countries, bombing in the other countries, spending millions of pounds. Why couldn't our government spend this money to house our veterans, to house the homeless people in the street? And ultimate blame came to asylum seekers, because yes, you can blame asylum seekers because there is not a single strong person or strong media appearance on behalf of asylum seekers saying that, oh, okay, whatever they're doing is right. So that is the big problem. People have a big problem about compassion in the UK, I would say, and also people don't know the circumstances. They just think that they should say it, and they just say it.
Does it upset you?
Yeah, of course, that upset me, but it's my duty as a refugee week leader for UK this year that I should preach these positive messages, whatever is done by the asylum seekers and refugees in this country. If you read the history of immigration and migration in the UK, most of our ancestors, you will find them, they came from some other countries, seek refuge in this country. And we all forgot about our past. We all forgot about the colonialism of this country. This has to be reminded that people just don't only come here to get benefits, don't only come here to, they said we steal jobs and all these things. I work for 9 organizations as a volunteer, nationally and in the community. During the pandemic, I delivered 700 food packs doing my bikes as asylum seekers. I didn't say anyone was coming out that time. When I was going out with the food packs, there's not a single person in the street, but nobody recognized it. People always blame us. If you give me opportunity, I will do something for you. But there is not. I don't see that, because the hatred, the things from the politicians is going so far, that makes me sometimes really upset. That all right, but anyway, I always believe in my mom's word that be there for your community. Be there for you people, something good will happen in return. This is what I'm following.
It's a very, very positive way of looking at it. In terms of the living conditions, saw rats running around in there, saw litter. What do you think needs to be done, and who needs to help you out here? Because it is it's quite shocking.
It is shocking, and I would say that it is criminal. I would be straightforward. This is criminal. The people living in this condition. I've shown you the condition in the washing machine room, if you saw this video. And there is locals people coming out in that room to do their laundries because they can do it for free. Asylum seekers, they're scared most of the time, so they don't defend them. Nobody wants to fight, So that again puts the asylum seeker in vulnerable situation in this kind of huge accommodation. In terms of rats and other things, it's a hostel. The company must ensure there is a rent to kill or something like this in place, which is not. If that was in place, I wouldn't see this kind of rats here and there. And because it's a hostel, I in my YouTube video, people asked that why didn't the asylum seeker clean it? You ask asylum seeker to clean it, getting £39 a week, and you think they will spend a huge amount of money to clean it. Nobody's going to do it. It's the company, because it's a hostel, it's their obligatory duty. Every week they send cleaning staff or cleaners to clean this communal place at least, which is absolutely fine. But it's a matter of things that inspections has to be done by the Home Office. It's a matter of things the member of publics and also I would say my MP should do an investigation about it, that where this money is going on. If I can say roughly, Home Office maybe paying £10,000 a week for this accommodation. So that makes it nearly £500,000 of pound every year. Where this money is going if that is not in use?
You're right. And just finally, MD, because I know you've got your appointment.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts about the whole situation currently? Do you feel like the voice of asylum seekers aren't being heard? Do you feel like currently that you're being forgotten about?
To be honest with you, the media, what I have seen through my little journey, the media is focused on other issues, be it exit and all these things. So they have very little time to focus on the refugees and asylum seekers. Unless someone is drowned, someone is losing their life in the sea, then they come forward. And unless some far-right politician come forward with their comments, oh, okay, these are illegals and stuff like this. So it is not that much. And our in the UK is bit focused on specific refugees from different specific countries. The media must know there is refugees from around the world in this country. There is refugees from around the world who is contributing in this country. So we shouldn't be focused on specific refugees from specific countries. That needs to be changed. There is a lot of other refugees, and they needs to be looked properly. And how we can change it, I would say show compassion. I have given 5 messages in my video blog about how we can help refugees and asylum seekers during the year, doing those things. One of them is compassion, empathy, and other things are there. So I would really urge everyone to see them as well.
Spot on, MD. That's brilliant, mate.